Hi everyone! So today we're going to be learning how to use Piktochart, which is an awesome online service that helps you create posters and infographics, slides, presentations, whatever really that you need it to. So here is my login page. This is my page. And here you can see my dashboard where I have saved visuals that I've already created. So this one was on how to read a research paper, this one was on using the 3D printer, this one was a poster for open mic night. So these two here are both infographics. This one here is a poster. Now I do believe that today we are going to be creating a poster for Durham Reads. So we're going to go over to the top here and we're going to click on this button that says Create New. And we're going to go to Printable. So here you have all your different options for what you can create: an infographic, a presentation, or a printable. The printable is like posters or reports. So we're going to click on that. And it's going to open up this page. Now this page will have you can click on either posters or reports. And once you're in there, it'll give you a whole bunch of templates that you can use. You can create from new if you'd like to, but we are going to use a template today. So considering we're using a poster to inform people about what we're doing, we're going to go with this one here. Looks like a good way to inform the students of what's going on. So it's just this little icon here. Every time it shows up, it lets you know that it's doing something. So right now it lets me know that it's loading my template. There we go. So within the template, there's all of these little boxes that show up every time I hover over one of the little pieces of the template, okay? These little boxes let me know that I can click on them to move them or delete them or resize them. So we're going to start by clicking here, and we're going to change this to Durham College. Now, it's a little big, so let's click on here, and we're going to go to font size, and we're going to scroll up. As the numbers get smaller, my font size gets smaller. So we're probably going to want to put it around, I don't know, 80? Let's see. That looks pretty good. But it's on 2 lines. I really want it on 1 line. So what I'm going to do is on the side here, there's these little circles on each side, which let me know that I can drag it to make the box bigger. Perfect, all on 1 line. Now, we talked about moving boxes. So this little arrow with the 4 sides lets me know that I can move it. So I'm going to click on it, and I'm going to drag it to a spot that I want it. That looks pretty good, right? Looks pretty centered. Now, we're not inviting them to meet up on Santa Monica Beach. We're inviting them to the Durham Reads event. So we're going to write in here, Durham Reads event. Perfect. My spaces aren't very big. I don't really like this font. So we're going to check out up here, and this little arrow will pull me to all of the different fonts that are available. So let's go through here and find something a little bit better. There we go. That one's pretty cool. It's pretty fun. So now that's too small. We're going to go back over here, and instead of scrolling down this time to make the numbers smaller, we're going to make the numbers bigger, making my font bigger. So we're going to go until we got a pretty good size here, really easy to read, really draws attention. 74, that's a pretty good size, okay? So I think we're all pretty happy with the top here. So now we're going to scroll down into our body section. Now our event actually takes place on March 28th of 2017. Awesome. Now, I don't really like that font there. It doesn't really work that well there. So we're going to go up. We're going to find out what this font is. So here we have Bebas, and it actually works pretty good here. So why don't we try it down here? So we're going to go up here, and we're going to click on Bebas. I don't know, I like it better there. Maybe let's put a couple extra spaces in there with our space bar. It's looking pretty good, guys. So here we have options to put in different events that are happening without the day. So for our event, we have a couple of different things going on. So our event starts here. It doesn't start at 3 p.m. It does start, however, at 12 p.m. So we're going to put that in. And it's not open discussion, so we're going to double click here. Our event actually starts with silent reading. But that doesn't really sound too fun now, does it? Do we have a better way to word that? We're going to write the reading circle. Awesome. Okay. Now at 2 o'clock, we have meet the author. So we're going to type in 2 o'clock here. We're going to click on this box here, and we're going to go meet the author. And then our event ends at 3 o'clock with ketchup and refreshments. Awesome. Now, this font's kind of hard to read too, so we're going to go up here. We're going to change it to something a little bit darker. Yeah, that's a lot easier to read now, isn't it? So we're going to do that with all three of them. And this one, once again, it shows up on 2 lines. I really want it on 1, so we're going to just pull that out until we got 1 line. Perfect. Now, down here, we have supported by, and it's definitely not supported by these two, so I'm going to click, and I'm going to press my delete button on my keyboard. I'm going to do the same thing over here. Awesome. Now, I want to put in my own pictures here, so this is a little different. So now I'm going to go to Photos, and I'm going to add my own photos. So I'm going to press this little plus button here, and I'm going to press Browse Images here. And we're going to upload this picture here. Awesome. Now I can just click on this image and drag it over. Now it's way too big, right? So now we're going to resize it by clicking on this square in the bottom corner. You see how I get the little diagonal arrows? That lets me know that I can resize it. So I'm going to click on that and I drag until I got a size that's much better suited for that area. Perfect. Okay. Now, it's also supported by the Oshawa Public Library, so I'm going to press Browse again. I'm going to click on my Oshawa Public Library's logo. And there it is right there. I'm going to drag it over. Same thing. It's way too big. So I'm going to click on this little square here and scale it down to a much better size. Okay. Awesome, awesome. So now we have supported by, we have what our program is and our times, we have our date, and we have who it is and what it is. Now, we still have a picture of Santa Monica Pier back here, which I'm not a huge fan of. So I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to press delete. It's going to remove the picture from the background. Now I want to bring in my own picture here because I have a pretty good picture of Durham that I'd like to put in. So I'm going to add my own photo again. I'm going to browse images. And here's my picture of Durham College I want to try and put in. So we're going to press open here. Now I'm going to drag and bring the photo in. And this one is where it's going to get a little tricky. So the first thing I want to do is I want to make sure that all the rest of my icons show up on top of this image. So I'm going to go to this little circle and shapes here, which is the arrange button. And I'm going to go to this one. This one will send it to the back of all of my other texts and whatnot. I'm going to click on that, and now you can see everything's popping up on top of the image. Now we can resize the image until it fits into my space better. Okay, so now it's really hard to read everything in here, so I want to move these ones down. So I'm going to click and drag, And now you see when I'm moving them, I see I have these orange lines. These orange lines let me know that it lines up with something else. So I'm going to click and drag so that I have those two orange lines again. Now when I'm clicking and dragging these, it'll do the same thing. So now I know it's lined up with the top of that 12 p.m., right? So I'm going to do that with all three of these. I'm going to line them up with their times. Perfect. Now it's still a little hard to read them, so maybe I'm going to change the color here. So let's just try making them black. Might make it a little bit easier to read them all. That is much easier. Okay, so I'm going to make all three of them black now. Awesome. And I'm going to do the same thing with my time here, my date. Now that's much easier to read, isn't it? Awesome. But I still kind of I think I want it on the side. So I'm going to change the alignment of it. So here's my alignment button, and I want it to go to the left side. Perfect. Now I'm going to drag it to the left side of my page. There we go. Now it makes a lot more sense. It's much easier to read. Now one thing I forgot to move down is my program. See it floating up here. So I'm going to move that back down to match up with the rest of my program times. And same with all of the different programs available. It's a little hard to read. So let's make that black. Okay, now I think we have all of our parts in. We have who it's supported by, we have our program times, we have our date, and we have who and what it is. So I think we're pretty good. Let's double check that we have everything we need and it all looks as squared up as we want it. And we're going to press this little preview button with the eye beside it at the top here. So now we can preview it without any of the boxes, without any of the lines. And it's looking pretty good, guys. One thing is I think we got a lot of our items really top heavy on this side. So maybe let's go back in and we'll move over these items here to the right side of the screen. So we're going to press exit preview here. And we're going to click to select the block. Now I want to move all of them at once. So I'm going to do this awesome thing. I'm going to, right here, what I'm doing is I'm clicking with the left part of my mouse. And I'm just dragging across to select all of that. Now, I can move the whole thing as one. Makes your life a little easier when you're moving a lot of small things like that. So now it's in the exact same order I wanted it in before, but it's all on the opposite side of the screen. So it looks good, guys. I think we're pretty much ready to go. So from here, I have a few options. I can download it, or I can share it. Now, because I'm going to be printing them and hanging them up all around the school, I'm going to download it and save it as my own copy. So I'm going to press this download button here. Here it gives me a few different options again. I can pick the original size or I can pick a medium size, which will make it a little bit bigger, but it might compromise my quality. So you know what? I'm going to go with my original size. I'm going to keep it there. Now I'm going to click on JPEG because I want to save it as the most accessible file type. So I'm going to click JPEG here. I'm going to click download as a JPEG. This little icon lets me know that it's working its magic. And there we go. It just popped up in the bottom of my screen here. So I'm going to click on it and make sure it's everything that I hoped and dreamed. Okay, guys? There we go. Now, it seems that my font didn't show up quite as how I wanted it to. That's not right now, is it? So I'm going to exit this. I'm going to exit this with this little X, and I go back here. Now my font seems to be fine. It seems to be the size I want it. But it's not, was it? So we're going to go back in, we're going to edit it again. We're going to go to 80. We're going to press save, and we're going to press download again. All my settings were exactly where I left them as last time. I'm going to press download as JPEG one more time here. Perfect, it just showed up in the bottom of my screen. I'm going to click on that. And there we go, guys. It's all set up how I want it to. It looks awesome. Looks like we're all ready for the Durham Read event. So, now if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, you can always email me at susiehelps@gmail.com. And my phone number is 905 237-1930. I'm in my office from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. on Monday to Saturday. Now that the tutorial is done, I want all of you guys to make your own. Whatever you'd like it to be, you can make an infographic if you'd like, play around with that, and just send me an email of your copy and let me know that you know how to use the software now, okay? I look forward to seeing all of the awesome stuff you guys create. And like I said, make sure that if you have any questions or concerns, you give me an email, okay? I'll see you guys soon.